fabric strips, and I already have some already prepared. I'm going to use 3 colors. I'm going to use black, orange, and gray. And I've already prepared these, meaning that I've made these into bias strips. And so basically, these started as 1.5 inch strips of fabric, and then I've folded them in half towards each other, and then I've also added starch, and they're really nice and flat. And so I have plenty of each. And then you also need what's called a wefty needle. So what you'll do is you'll take, and I've got this on the board here, you'll take your base strips, which I'm going to base this in black, and you're going to just take them and set them down right up next to each other. And what this base here is a foam core board, and it's you can get it at your local craft store. You need this and lots of pins also. You're going to need lots of pins. And you're going to line the base fabric up right next to each other, and you're going to want it next to each other snugly. You don't want to leave a whole bunch of space, otherwise your weave will be kind of loose. So basically, you're just going to be lining these all up, all next to each other. I'll just do a couple here, but I think you get the idea, is to line them up, and then you just put the pins in here. Sometimes your pins will poke through, so you'll have to be careful not to poke yourself. So that's the first step, is to cover your board with your base strips all going one way. Let me get the next step here. So the next color that I'm going to put in is the orange, and I've already started some of them, and that's where you're going to be using your wefty needle. And so basically you're going to be weaving these in and out of your straight strips, but you're going to be using a 30-degree angle. And the way you determine your 30-degree angle is with a nice acrylic ruler. Mine already has a 30-degree mark on it, and so I've just used a piece of masking tape to help me see that a little easier. And then I line that up with the bottom of my board, and then I give myself a starting point. And that's how I've done my first row here. And once you do your first row, then the rest of it lines up really nicely. And so let me show you how to do the weaving. You basically are using this process of over 1, under 2, okay? And so what you do is you take the top slot or the back slot, whichever way you want to look at it, and you weave your fabric through the needle, and then you just, let's see, I've got over 1, under 2, so I'm going to do over 1, I'm going to put my needle back here, and I'm going to do under 2, then I've got over 1, under 2, and you just keep doing this, and you can use these little slots here to help push through. Just lift up, and you just push this through, and I'm going to hold this in so it doesn't come all the way through. There you go. And so you want to just keep these nice and straight and snug to each other. After a few rows, if you don't keep doing this and pushing them closer to each other, it gets kind of loose, and that's not what you want. You don't want a loose weave, you kind of want a tight weave. So there's that. Let's do the next one. So we're going to do it right next to each other, and you can kind of see a pattern here. See how our diamonds are going this way? And we've got this zigzag thing going with the black. And so obviously our next over is going to be right here, and right here, and right here. So you can visually kind of tell what you need to do. Just going to thread this needle, if you will, with the fabric. So my over needs to be right here. So that means I'm going to go under the first one and over the next one. So that's over 1, under 2, over 1. Let me move this up, under 2, over 1, under 2, and so forth. I try to keep the base fabrics down, pinned nice and snug. It makes it a little bit of a challenge to get everything through, but overall it makes for a nice weave. Let's see, that's over, under one, and then over on the end. Okay. Oops. All right, so we keep doing that. I think I got that right. That looks about right. Yeah. Okay, so you keep doing that, and you fill up all of your orange over here, and you come down here, and you fill the whole thing up with the 30-degree angle. And you can check it along the way and tighten things up. So that's with the two colors right there. Okay, so then the next thing is to add the gray. And I have that board right over here. Okay, now this looks complicated, but it's actually fairly simple once you get an understanding of what you're looking at. So, you know, there's our black and our oranges over here. And what we're doing is we're taking the gray and we're just weaving through. So let me show you. Let's see. Right here is the next place that I'm going to weave. Okay? And so what I'm going to try to do is put it in between this right here, under here, and then come out over here, okay? And so visually, if you can see a bird, here's a wing here, and here's a wing here, and there's the body of the bird, okay? I know it's like an abstract bird, kind of. So here's one of the wings. Now I'm going under. Lots of different things going on over here, so you kind of have to feel your way through it. And then I'm coming out on the other side, okay? And I'm just going to pull that through, and it lays down. And so it's giving it that cube or tumbling block look. The next one, need to identify our bird. Here's a wing, and here's a wing. Here and here, and there's the body. So I'm going to take I can actually put my needle through before I thread it, since I'm here at the end, and then put my fabric right on the needle there, and then pull the rest of it through. Okay, so that's how you do that. And just to continue with that, I've got another one started here. You thread your needle with your fabric strip. And then here is my bird again. There's the wing, and there's the wing, and there's the body. So I'm going to fish my wefty needle through there, come through here, and there's the next pass. And so you just continue on until the whole thing's done. And then what you do is when your whole weave is finished, you can do so many different things with it. All right, so you can do so many things with these. You've got all sorts of, I think that I'm going to make this into a pillow. You'll attach this to some fusible material where it makes everything stick together, and then you'll sew around the perimeter of it, and it makes it stay really good. What I've done is I've taken a weave like this and I've made it into a tote bag. Let me show you that real quick. It's not the same colors, but it's the same concept. Now this was a larger weave that I did. I'm trying to think. I think I used one of the larger needles with this, and that was really fun. So, and I kind of did an ombre effect where you can tell, you know, the colors are darker over here, and then they've gotten lighter, and the same thing on this side too. So this was kind of an ombre weave, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've sewn down on the purple just to keep that not moving around. And so that's kind of fun. And of course I had to finish it with this really fun fabric. But so that is my little tutorial for the day on how to do a triaxle mad weave, or also known as tumbling blocks. So thanks for joining me.